What's up, guys? Nick Primavera here from Primavera Fitness and Premier Personal Training. I got an email from a guy, about 20 years old. He's stalled in his leg development. He can't get any leg size. He's tried just about every drop set, strip set, new supplement that he can possibly do, and he can't figure it out. Now, this is an issue that I've run into in the past when I was about 21 years old. I was crushing legs hard, typical bodybuilding protocol. I was doing the 8 to 12 reps, time under tension, following all the things you read in the magazines, and it just wasn't working for me. I hit a plateau. So, for you, my man, I'm going to fix this for you. I'm going to give you 4 things that have worked for me in the past and are proven to help you bust that plateau and get those legs growing like weeds. The first training variable I have for you to use is a high rep, low rep split for your legs. In this split, the beginning of the week you'll be doing a high rep leg day, high volume. You'll be doing many sets for about 12 to 15 reps, has what I've found to be the most effective. Now, on these days you'll be placing a high metabolic demand on the muscle fibers of your legs. You want to make sure that you involve compound exercises with some select isolation exercises. This metabolic demand will elicit what's called sarcoplasmic expansion, which is literally an expansion of the endurance fluid or the sarcoplasm in the muscle fibers themselves. This is more of a non-functional hypertrophy. It makes the muscles look big and full like a bodybuilder, not necessarily dense like an athlete. Leading me to my next point. Later on in the week, you'll be doing a low rep, more of a strength parameter day. About 3 to 5 reps for 6 to 8 sets using heavy weights. High intensity is the key. Now, on this day, you'll be eliciting more of a myofibrillar hypertrophy. Myofibrillar, what a word. But that type of hypertrophy is rooted in the literal tearing of the muscle fibers themselves, where the body is forced to adapt by building new, stronger muscle fibers, which is why you see that dense muscle on athletes like sprinters or power athletes, running backs, where it looks like they're chiseled, literally chiseled out of granite. This contrast right here, do it for 4 to 6, I would say more along the lines of 4 weeks. It increases the frequency that you're training your legs. It hits it from different stimulus, and you're hitting it from each end of the spectrum, which will give your body kind of that shock mechanism, and it'll force it into new gains. So I've done it in the past, and I've had great success. That's my first tip. My second tip is proven, and it's used by Olympic athletes. It's used by professional athletes. I see it in a lot of literature by world-renowned strength coach Charles Poliquin. If you're not familiar with him, read up on his stuff. Excellent. What you do in this principle is use a period of intensification followed by a phase of accumulation. Now, these 2 phases are usually 4 to 6 weeks respectively. An intensification phase is one in which you prioritize strength. This is where you use high intense sets with heavy weights and longer rest periods, 3 to 5 minutes. In an accumulation phase, for 4 to 6 weeks you're using high reps, high volume, low intensity exercises where you're, again, aiming for sarcoplasmic expansion, more metabolic demand on the muscle fibers. The intensification phase is more training your nervous system, and the way that these complement each other so well, the intensification phase will increase your strength, and then by the time you get to the accumulation phase, you'll be using larger weights for the hypertrophy protocol repetitions. When you're using heavier weights for these hypertrophy protocol rep ranges, your body has no other choice but to grow. I'm riding around, I'm gaming. Pay special attention in the intensification phase to central nervous system fatigue. If you need to take some days off, that's fine. In the accumulation phase, you want to pay attention to overuse injuries. You'll be doing high reps for a lot of volume. Extra work on your soft tissue, myofascial release, a lot of stretching, some PNF, contract, relax, things along those lines to keep your joints in proper position and make sure that your tissue health, especially in the elbows and the hips and everything, is up to par, so you can continue to push those weights for that amount of reps.
Back at you. How we doing?
Next is hybrid training, and it's something that I've kind of taken bits and pieces from different principles that I've read about and applied, and kind of built my own little principle in itself. In hybrid training, you'll begin the day with one plyometric exercise. I like to do a box jump or some vertical jumps, max intensity for 1 rep for 5 to 6 sets. Rest about 2 minutes in between sets. This isn't to build up lactate or anything. This is just to get the nervous system firing, get it ready for the workout, and kind of see how much power you're producing that day. So begin the workout with a plyometric exercise, bounds, something along those lines, jumping, explosion. Next, you go into one strength exercise. So on a leg day, it might be a back squat, a heavy back squat. This portion of the workout program, I will do about 6 sets of 3 to 5 reps. So if we're using the back squat as an example, I'll start with 3s. So I'll do 3 3s and then maybe do 3 5s. And I'll keep the intensity high, and I'll climb weights when I feel like I can, and I'll dial it back a few pounds when I feel like the next set's going to be impossible. You don't want to go to failure on every set. You just want to have explosive repetitions and make sure you're putting out max effort. Next, I'll have 2 to 3 assistance exercises that follow hypertrophy protocol. So on a leg day, I might do loaded lunges for 12 reps. Then I might do step-ups, or I'm not a big fan of leg extensions, but I might do some pistol squats or something like that for 6 to 8 reps. In this particular portion of the workout program, you will be fatigued. So you're going to use lighter weights, and you're going to want to pay attention to time under tension. You're going to want to do controlled tempos I recommend 4-second eccentrics on repetitions. Really control and feel those muscles contract. This is a good opportunity to build that mind-muscle connection, which directly correlates to better performance in the plyometric and the strength phases. It all ties together. Next is something that I also have built. It's been super effective for me. It's really, really demanding, but it's awesome at the same time. Once you kind of knock these down, I would spend 4 to 6 weeks on these and get good at these, and then give this a shot. And if you've already done stuff along these lines, maybe give this a shot, but it is extremely demanding. This is the trio training. Little corny name I gave it, but whatever. Shut up. You begin the day with a compound exercise with an explosive tempo. So let's use the back squat again as an example. You'll maybe do 2 seconds down, explode up as hard as you can in each repetition. You do 5 sets of 5 to 6 reps with 3 to 5 minutes in between. This is going to train your nervous system, but it's also kind of a hybrid repetition range for strength hypertrophy, which is extremely effective. You follow that with 2 exercises, 1 compound and 1 isolation, that use timed sets. You do 3 timed sets per exercise. So get your little stopwatch or your iPhone or whatever the hell you use. Put 60 to 90 seconds, whatever you can handle. And you're going to crush out as many repetitions as you can in these time ranges, but you're still going to use a controlled tempo for each rep. I would say 3-second eccentrics, 1 second pause, that's bench press, but 1 second pause at the bottom of a squat, and then explode up. This will put an extreme metabolic demand on the muscles that you're using, in direct contrast to the beginning movement, which was explosive and more of a nervous system activation exercise. Third, you're going to pick 1 exercise of your choice to do what I call a century set. A century set is 100 repetitions. It's 1 set, 100 repetitions of 1 exercise. You pick 1 weight, and you keep that weight for the whole time. Now, I usually pick 60% of my 1 rep max in this exercise. I've done as low as 30%. The way this works is you begin by crushing as many reps as you can controlled, and then as soon as you fail, you rest for that amount of seconds that you have remaining to finish in repetitions, if that makes sense. So if I crush 50 reps before I have to stop and rest, I have 50 more reps to go, so I have 50 seconds that I am able to rest before I have to get back into that set. This finishes off the workout, gives you a mean pump, but again, gives you that metabolic demand. It pumps a ton of nutrients into the muscles. It will force them to stretch. demand from the sarcoplasm. It'll lead to extreme soreness, but doing those high repetitions will also kind of reinforce your motor patterning. See, I like to use like maybe a really light front squat or a goblet squat at the end of my leg workout for this. It crushes you, but it elicits those biochemical changes that will lead to muscle growth, endurance efficiency, and again, each one of these supports the other in one way. All of these support both strength gains and hypertrophy. See, again, people get caught up in the protocol just for hypertrophy that they read in magazines. But you want to have an open mind because strength supports hypertrophy and hypertrophy supports strength. So don't cut yourself short, have an open mind, use a wide array of principles, give these ones a shot, shoot me an email.
Rap money slow up, crack paper pick up, get the bins clean, scoop the whack haters bitch up. Harlem niggas say good things when they bring rich up. When they mention now